What's up, ladies and gents? This is Casey Kid, coming at you with another Destiny video. It's Sunday, so we're doing another Q&A session. If you have a question that you would like to potentially see answered next week, go ahead and leave it in the comment section below. We're going to show a little bit of PvP gameplay in the Crucible. It turns out to be a really good match for me, and I'm on my Warlock, my Stormcaller, and that always turns out pretty well for me. I'm also using the Monte Carlo and a sidearm because, well, fun. So if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Starting off with our first question, we have David asking about changes to PvP, mainly with the Icebreaker and the Invective. Now, I'm assuming that David's talking about the new special changes that Bungie implemented, and that's mainly for the 3v3 playlist. I'll be honest, I wanted to check out and see what this new special ammo change was going to be like. I wanted to see what it was going to be like, what it was actually going to bring to the playlist, and having played Trials a little bit, having played Skirmish, having played Salvage, having played Elimination a little bit, I jumped into all the different modes, and I'll be honest, I'm not sure that this is actually working. I'm just not sure that this is actually working out like Bungie intended. As David alludes to, people are using the Icebreaker to go into matches, and they've got a sniper rifle bullet within the first 8 seconds. And that's roughly about how long it's going to take to kind of find somebody in an encounter anyway. And then after essentially the 40 seconds or 48 seconds to get a full 6 bullets in the Icebreaker, you're going to be able to have full special ammo for whatever weapon you swap to in the next round or the round after that. An Icebreaker still will one-shot headshot, it just won't be able to res snipe, so you're really not missing out on a lot by putting on the Icebreaker anyway. So I really don't think that the special ammo changes are working because we've got these regenerating items, and that doesn't even take into account the sidearms. For me, whenever I run in, I'm putting on a sidearm, I'm not using it. In round 2 or after I die, I swap to a shotgun or sniper rifle, and boom, I've got some special ammo. So it's really only just kind of slowing things down for a small amount of time. I don't think this is the right answer. I think Bungie may need to go back to the drawing board or just scrap this plan and just go back to how it was. Question number 2 comes from Cam Does COD asking if I would start over. So the quick answer would be, right now, with how things are in my life, having to go to work, all the commute, all of that stuff, doing this channel, I would not. I just wouldn't. There's not enough time in my day to be able to start over, on a new system. That's basically how I'm thinking about it in my mind. Would I jump over to the Xbox and start from scratch, where I've got absolutely nothing? No weapons, no nothing. And it's just too difficult. I just don't have the time and ability to be able to do that. Now, if somehow my situation completely changed, and I was able to actually survive on doing the YouTube, doing the Twitch and stuff like that, be able to pay my bills, then I probably would. I probably would start over, jump onto a new system, because I would have more time. I would have a lot more time to be able to actually play and level up, and there would probably be other people that would be there that would help me to level up real quickly. Obviously, if you know what you're doing, you're going to be able to just jump in and tackle the things that you know will help you to level up the best, maybe get some of the best gear, but I'd still be missing all of my guns, all my armor and everything, so it would be a long time building back up. Moving over to question 3, we have John asking if I have any new ideas for events to Destiny. Now, I don't know if any of you ever played the Mass Effect series or Mass Effect 3. There was actually an online multiplayer component to Mass Effect 3 that was essentially an enemy wave rushdown, and it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing in that. It was basically 10 levels of enemy waves that would come on, and there would be some different stuff. There would be some harder enemies that would come down. On various ranks, rank 5, rank 7, rank 10, you would get actual rewards, gold, that you would then use to purchase card packs in an inventory system afterwards to help get additional characters, additional gear, additional consumables, and something like that for people that love to collect is a lot of fun. Now, I'm not saying that you would implement all of that into Destiny, but if you happen to have that type of enemy rush mode, because people are looking for additional PvE events. And Prison of Elders sounds a little bit similar, but not exactly. Something like this where maybe you're actually earning points, and instead of purchasing card packs or something like that, you could purchase You know how in Trials of Osiris we have the bronze, silver, and gold tier packages? Maybe you're able to purchase packages like that to potentially get different drops. Maybe it's going to be exotics. Maybe it's going to be specific PvE gear that's only centered around that event, or PvP type of gear. You know, whatever it might be. It sounds like it could be a lot of fun. Something else to potentially grind for that is a little bit different, because the one thing that people like about PvP is that every time you fire up a PvP game, it's a different experience, because you're going against different people and the experience is always different. So something like this enemy rushdown, enemy wave event could be a lot of fun to do, especially if you were grinding towards actually getting points to go towards something else, something like a bigger package. I think that could be a lot of fun. Next up, we have EHV Music asking our title question about if I think Destiny could become an esport. And I think it could. But as you mentioned in the rest of your question, there are a lot of things that probably need to change in Destiny for it to become an esport. I know the number one thing that everybody talks about is if Destiny wants to become super competitive, you have to take away the supers. And I can understand that, but I think if you do that, you take away the fun of the game. I think you have to keep the supers in. I think you have to keep the supers and the grenade and all the other gameplay elements in as they are right now. What you might want to do, though, is starting off, you might want to limit it. I don't know if anybody watches and follows N Kuch's channel, but he's talking about this tournament that he's in, and it's for prize money, and they're talking about how every person on each team, it's a 3v3 team mode, but every person has to be a different character / subclass. Now that's a really nice way to start things out, because if you were just doing a 3v3 game mode right now, you would probably see tons of Sunsingers with firebolts, and that would get really boring really quickly. But having to make everybody be on a different subclass is a really nice idea, a nice way to go about starting things, just to kind of keep things a lot more fresh and a lot more interesting. Also, as you mentioned, you're going to need to be able to have custom matches, because you can implement rules and stuff like that. You can implement that you can only have one subclass per character. You can actually match up with people easily. You don't have to be jumping into orbit, seeing if you hopefully get matched up by the actual matchmaking system and going back out. And you're also right that by having this esport, it brings a lot more attention to the game. Now, do I think there will be custom matches in Destiny 2? Probably. I would imagine one of the main reasons why we're not seeing it in this generation is because this Destiny is still a last-gen game. As long as you still have to support the PS3 and the Xbox 360, it's still a last-gen game, and that means that you are confined by the memory requirements of the PS3 and the 360. So regardless of what the PS4 and Xbox One can do, you really can't see that full potential. So I have to give Bungie a lot of props for what they've been able to get out of this game. It's pretty amazing that they've been able to pull as much resources that they have been out of this game to give us so many different experiences. There are so many different experiences in this game that you can do that is just mind-blowing for a PS3 / Xbox 360 type of game. So custom matches probably in Destiny 2, and maybe we will start seeing this in different arenas. Maybe we'll be seeing it on ESPN. You'll see me there shooting everybody. I'm just kidding. I would definitely not be invited to any esport event unless it was about how to die a lot. Finally, we have Dylan Porter asking what I think about potentially having exotic subclasses in Destiny 2. I think it sounds amazing. I think that would be absolutely amazing. I would love to have a super overpowered subclass, because if you're an exotic subclass, you better be overpowered. But unfortunately, you'll probably have to make sure there's a PvE and PvP split for it, because otherwise you're just going to be seeing these 3 exotic subclasses running around in PvP, killing people. Everybody's going to say, man, this is so boring. All you do is flip on the one exotic subclass and win. Pull the trigger and win. But it sounds like a lot of fun. It sounds like you could do a lot of cool things with an exotic subclass if there was a lot of customization and different modularity with those subclasses, where you could maybe pick and choose different things, where you wouldn't have to worry so much about a different PvE and PvP split. Then that would be super awesome. I think it would be a lot of fun. I always aim for being overpowered in PvE. I just think you can't ever go wrong with being super uber overpowered in a PvE event. So that's it. If you have a question for next week, leave it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smack that like button and subscribe to the channel. Check out these awesome videos. Good luck with your raids, your drops, your PvP, and I'll see you around. In Destiny. eSport 2017 champion, Casey Kidd.